Chapter 479, Even the formation disc was taken away. Little Black heard Yunchujia's words and said proudly, "This isn't an injury bump. It's for feathers. The more feathers there are, the more powerful I am." Yunchujio curiously touched it with her hand. It was just a big bump. "Little Black, are you embarrassed to admit that you bumped into something?" "Ha ha ha. No matter how stupid you are, I will not despise you." Little Black was so angry that its hair stood on end. "Master! You're too much. I just woke up, and you're already making me angry, you heartless master." "Enough." Yunchujio was amused. "Now that you're up, I will have a lot more fun." "Ha ha ha. Let's go. I'll take you to dig for some spirit stones. The damned Wuwei Tower actually dares to trick me. I will even take the array plate this time." The rolling pin weakly reminded, "Master, if you take more spirit stones, the Wuwei Tower will give you negative points. Then, won't spirit radiance sex results be dragged down because of you?" Yunchujio laughed coldly. "Humph. I have already considered that. The higher the level of the Wuwei Tower, the more points it should grant. I will just let it deduct as it pleases. The points for clearing the 9th level will definitely be very, very high. When that time comes, even if points were deducted, there would still be a lot left over. Moreover, I've already thought it through. Even if spirit radiance sex results are at the bottom because of me, there would still be another round of trial, right? During the alchemy competition, he'll go up and easily get first place." The rolling pin and Little Black nodded. These three fellows were all equally mystifying in their confidence. They had never considered what would happen if Yunchujio could not reach the 9th level. What if Yunchujio could not get first place in the alchemy trial? Besides, there were a total of 4 competitions. Even if you got first place in alchemy, how could you guarantee that your overall result would be first? The three of them began to search for the formation's core. Although the desert scorpions were constantly urged by the weapon spirit, and although they were formation beasts created by the formation, they would still have a natural fear of Little Black, hence, they did not dare to approach Little Black. Yunchujio found the formation's core as she wished. Not only did she dig out all the spirit stones, she even took out the formation disc and put it into her storage ring. The emotionless voice sounded like it was gnashing its teeth. 3rd level of the Wuwei Tower trial, passed. Participant, Yunchujio, if you destroy the Wuwei Tower's facilities, the reward will be cancelled. Your points will be negative 400 and your accumulated points will be negative 500. At that moment, outside the Wuwei Tower, a disciple quickly noticed that Yunchujia's points had changed. "Oh my god! Yunchujia's points have changed again. It has actually become negative 500. This Yunchujio is really a weirdo. She's now ranked last. Fuck. What's wrong with Yunchujio? Why are her points decreasing? Could it be that others are going up, but she is going underground? I've never heard that there is a basement under the Wuwei Tower. How strange that she hasn't been ejected yet. What's going on? Anyway, it's not a good thing. Can't you see that the people from the Spirit Radiance sect are about to faint from anger? This is simply bringing a disaster. Not only is it not helpful, it's even counterproductive. The Spirit Radiance sect actually has such a disciple. They're bound to be unlucky for over 8 lifetimes. Ha! Master Xianyuan was also feeling a little apprehensive in his heart. Little ancestor, what kind of heinous thing are you doing? You're not tricking someone, right? Our Spirit Radiance sect's results aren't good to begin with. If you do something like this again, we can only be ranked last. Chapter 480, minus 6,100 points. With Little Black as a helper, Yunchujio was like a tiger with wings. She let Little Black be in charge of attacking the demonic beasts. She found the array core and dug out the spiritual stones, and the demonic beasts naturally disappeared. After repeating this, she charged all the way to the 6th floor. At the moment, Yun Chujia's points were already minus 2,900 points. More than half of the disciples had already been ejected from the Wu Wei Tower. Other than Su Yanran who had already charged to the 7th floor, there was also Yun Chujio who had received a negative point. At that moment, Su Yanran's score had already reached more than 6,000 points, 3,000 points more than the person in second place. The smile on Du Gai's face could no longer be concealed. No one had been able to enter the 7th level for thousands of years. Su Yanran really brought him honor. Ha! Ha! Master Xianyuan, the wheel of fortune has really turned. Back then, in Spirit Radiance sect, Yun Chujio defeated Su Yanran. Who would have thought that now, Su Yanran would obtain more than 6,000 points, while Yun Chujio actually got negative 2,900 points. That's a difference of 9,000 points. I really sympathize with you. She has brought such a big disaster. Du Gai felt that victory was within his grasp. This was arrogance. Su Yanran was able to enter the 7th level, so her aptitude is indeed not bad. However, the trial hasn't ended yet, so it's best not to draw a conclusion on Yun Chujio too early. Even though Master Xuanyuan's heart was in a knot, they had not lost the battle yet, so his expression was still calm. Ha! That's right. We can't draw a conclusion now, and there might be even more negative points later. Fortunately, there are many people here, or else your Spirit Radiance sect's points wouldn't have enough points for her to deduct. Du Gai felt that it was really too satisfying. That smelly girl still had delusions of passing the 9th level, dream on. Disciples were constantly being ejected from the Wu Wei Tower, and after a few hours, Su Yanran was also ejected after failing the 7th level. Everyone else had already been ejected from the Wu Wei Tower except for Yun Chujio. At the same time, Yun Chujio's points had become 100 points. Du Gai immediately arranged for people to start counting the points of each sect. The results were 100,300 points for the Heavenly Gate sect, 98,000 points for the Immortal Sword sect, 92,000 points for the Bishao Palace, and 86,000 points for the Spirit Radiance sect. When the disciples of the Spirit Radiance sect counted the points, they hated Yun Chujio to death. If they had not deducted Yun Chujio's 6,100 points, they would have been able to surpass the Bishao Palace and obtain 3rd place. It was all because of this troublemaker, Yun Chujio. Zhuo Piaoyu obtained 1,500 points, which was considered to be above average, so she was very proud in her heart. Yun Chujio, they'll let you show off. You're going to lose this bet for sure. Once you lose your identity as a successor disciple, would senior brother Feng Ming still take a look at you? Humph. When that time comes, the people you've offended will start to take revenge on you. Just you wait. You're simply courting death for looking for a fight with me. Su Yanran was now a popular person. From Du Gai to the inner disciples, all of them were full of praise for her. All kinds of praises were constantly heard. Even if she did not pass the 7th level, no one had entered the 7th level of the Wu Wei Tower for thousands of years. Su Yanran could definitely be considered a genius. Su Yanran was very proud in her heart. I've finally washed away the shame that Yun Chujio has brought to me. Yun Chujio, I didn't expect that not only can't you compare to me, but you've also gotten a negative score. The heavens are really fair. You have finally received your retribution. Yun Chujio, who was inside the Wu Wei Tower, sneezed a few times in succession. Damn it! They must be scolding me outside. Speaking of which, this 7th level is probably very difficult. I don't know what will appear. Chapter 481, Woven Silk Pajamas with a flash of white light, Yun Chujio entered the 7th level of the Wu Wei Tower. When Yun Chujio saw the scene clearly, she could not help but laugh out loud. Oh my god, this 7th level is tailored for me. Yun Chujio was currently deep in a forest. However, she was currently hanging on a huge spider web. A huge level 8 gold-spotted poison spider was staring at her. The gold-spotted poison spider felt that the little girl in front of it was most likely scared out of her wits. Otherwise, why would she be smiling at this moment? Unless she was mentally ill. The gold-spotted poison spider wanted to eat Yun Chujio, but when it got closer, it realized that Yun Chujio was covered in layers of spiritual energy. It spat out poisonous threads and began to corrode the spiritual energy barrier. Master, stop laughing. Although this poisonous spider is also a bug, its spiritual power is higher than mine, so it is not afraid of me. Little Black said to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio giggled. Little Black, don't worry, you don't have to do it. Master, I have a secret weapon. Ha ha ha. Furry, didn't you tell me the last time that you didn't have enough sweaters? Now we have a chance to create more. Master. Have you forgotten? These are fake. Even if I extract the silk, it will disappear. Furry pouted and flew out from between his brows. Little Black stared with his pezzized eyes, dumbfounded. What the hell is this? Master, why do you always pick up trash? Previously, he picked up a rolling pin, and now he picked up a ball of yarn. Yun Chujio heard what the ball of yarn said and coughed dryly. Ah, that's true. But, let's get rid of it first. Let's finish this quickly so I can go dig for spirit stones. There will definitely be more spirit stones in this layer. Just thinking about it makes me excited, right? The ball of yarn started to extract the silk. The gold-spotted poison spider was dumbfounded. The poisonous threads in its stomach were constantly being pulled out by the ball of yarn. These poisonous threads were sticky and poisonous. Why did nothing happen to that ball of yarn? In the past 1,000 years, no one has ever been able to get past it. Could it be that it had met its nemesis today? The ball of yarn muttered as it twined, tisk tsk, the quality of this thread is really good. It's much better than the thread of the mountain drilling dragon. If only this were real. I could knit a set of woven silk pajamas and wear it. The gold-spotted poison spider was about to cry when it saw the ball of yarn twining more and more vigorously. I'm not a freaking formation beast, I'm a real demon beast. If all its poisonous threads were taken away, it would fucking starve to death. What an embarrassing way to go. Sob, it was going to be the first gold-spotted poison spider to starve to death. Just as the ball of yarn was vigorously extracted, Yun Chujio shouted, Furry, stop for a moment. Master, why are you stopping? I'm getting more and more excited. This gold-spotted poison spider has so many poisonous threads. It's so satisfying. The gold-spotted poison spider's tears finally flowed. It had never encountered such a situation before. It was being tortured to death. Furry, I feel that this gold-spotted poison spider in front of me seems to be a real demon beast. This beast is so expressive. In the beginning, it was disdainful, but after that, it turned into shock, and then it turned into fear and despair. It's simply too realistic, isn't it? The demon beasts we met before were all gritting their teeth. When the gold-spotted poison spider heard Yun Chujio's words, it almost burst into tears. There was a door. This little girl was its last hope. At this moment, the gold-spotted poison spider completely abandoned its dignity as a level 8 demon beast. The two antennae in front of its head kept poking at Yun Chujio. Chapter 482, I raised a white-eyed spider. Little spider, are you trying to beg for mercy? If it is, just point once. If it isn't, point twice. Yun Chujio rolled her eyes and evil thoughts appeared again. The gold-spotted poison spider used its antennae to point once. Yun Chujio continued with a smile, you are not a formation beast, are you a real demon beast? The gold-spotted poison spider used its antennae to point once again. How about this, I can spare you, but you have to tell me the location of the formation core on this level. The higher she went, the harder it was to find the formation core. It would save her a lot of trouble if she had some guidance. The gold-spotted poison spider had no choice but to agree for the sake of its little life. Yun Chujio let Furry lead the gold-spotted poison spider to find the location of the formation core. Qi Ling nearly fainted. "I've raised you for over 1,000 years, and you're going to betray me just like that?" The gold-spotted poison spider replied in a muffled voice, "It's your fault for not coming to save me. Too bad I don't know how to speak. Otherwise, I'll tell the little girl about the formation's core on the 8th and 9th levels. I'll infuriate you to death, you heartless old woman." Qi Ling rolled her eyes. The other party raised an ingrate, but it raised a white-eyed spider. If Yun Chujio knew what the gold-spotted poison spider was thinking, she would definitely trick this stupid spider into leading the way. Unfortunately, she did not understand the language of beasts. After this fellow stored the spiritual stones and arrayed discs in his storage ring, a furious voice was heard saying, "The 7th level of the Wuwei Tower trial has been passed. Trial taker Yun Chujio, the reward is cancelled. The accumulated points are minus 6,400 points. The accumulated points are minus 12,500 points." The crowd outside the Wuwei Tower was in an uproar. "Oh my god, the legendary 8th level is within reach. Oh my god. Am I dreaming? Isn't it said that only Patriarch Linghua has entered the 8th level in the past 10,000 years? Could it be that Qing Xian continent is going to produce another peerless genius? I'm so excited. I saw the 8th level of the Wuwei Tower light up in my lifetime." After everyone was excited for a while, they realized there was a big problem. Everyone was already ejected. Who exactly had entered the 8th level? At this moment, someone shouted again, "Oh my god, Yun Chujia's score has become minus 12,500 points. Anyway, the Linghua faction is already last. It doesn't matter how many negative points there are. Wait. Isn't Yun Chujio the only person left in the Wuwei Tower? Could it be, heavens, that Yun Chujio is the one who entered the 8th level? How is that possible? She's only at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement Realm. Besides, she's always had negative points. When she reached the 8th level, she should have had more than 10,000 positive points. If it's not Yun Chujio, then who is it? There's no one else. Yun Chujio must be the one on the 8th level. Then what's wrong with the points? Maybe there's something wrong with the stone wall. Yun Chujio should have more than 10,000 points. Forget it. There hasn't been a problem with the stone wall for tens of thousands of years, and it's already a problem with Yun Chujio. Su Yenran was originally full of confidence, but for some reason, she had a bad feeling in her heart. How similar was the situation in the Great Void Mystic Realm the last time? Could it be that the same thing was going to happen again? No, impossible. No matter which level she reached, the points were still the most important. Even if she reached the 9th level, the people of the Linghua sect would still hate her. It was because she had obtained a negative score that she was ranked last. Du Gai had the same thoughts as Su Yenran. Anyway, the final ranking did not depend on which level she reached. Who knew what kind of tricks that wretched girl Yun Chujio had up her sleeves? Chapter 483, A Moment of Spring is worth 1,000 gold coins. Yun Chujio was already on the 8th level of the Wuwei Tower. Unlike the previous 7 levels, this time, Yun Chujio ended up in an empty room. The voice that was gnashing its teeth was heard again. The 8th level of the Wuwei Tower has been opened. Trial taker Yun Chujio, love, wealth, power, or Tao. Choose one. Love. Yun Chujio answered without hesitation. Qi Ling looked at her with disdain. Seems you have pillaged my Wuwei Tower enough, or else why would you choose love? Otherwise, you would definitely choose wealth. The scene in front of Yun Chujio changed. She was actually in a beautifully decorated wedding hall. Yun Chujio curled her lips. This was an illusion test. As a special agent, the most common training was how to stay awake after being hypnotized. I want to see what kind of illusion Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling will create for me. Black thing. I finally got you. Di Baiming said happily in a red bridal gown. Yun Chujio thought to herself, "Io, this pretty boy in red looks good." It was a different style from Black Chicken Head. The Black Chicken Head was evil and flamboyant, while the pretty boy was, a sultry man with a strong sense of abstinence. Why did it look like he was pouncing on her? I wonder if they will be entering the bridal chamber later. I'm looking forward to it. Yun Chujio did not resist. According to the settings of the illusion, she wore a phoenix coronet and a wedding gown and followed this Di Baiming to the altar. After sending her into the bridal chamber, Di Baiming smiled. Black thing, we are finally married. Come, let's have a toast. Seeing that Yun Chujio had no intention of waking up, Qi Ling felt very proud of himself. Little brat. As long as you drink this tea, you will fail this round. Yun Chujio did not take the wine cup that Di Baiming handed to her. Instead, she sat down on the chair, crossed her legs, and said casually, "What toast? Pretty boy, take off your clothes. Let me see your beautiful body." Qi Ling's face turned red. She braced herself and continued the illusion. Di Baiming laughed, "Black thing, let's drink first. I'll take off my clothes after the toast." Wrong. 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 As the saying goes, every moment of the night is worth 1,000 gold. Quickly take off your clothes. If you don't take off your clothes, I'll help you. Yun Chujio jumped down from the chair and was about to strip Di Baiming. Yun Chujio smiled and said to Di Baiming, "Oh right, gigolo, I bought a lot of erotic pictures from the street. Let's learn according to the postures." Hey, where are my erotic pictures? Wuwei Tower, quickly materialize my erotic pictures. I want to refer to them. Qi Ling could not continue. This stupid girl was not fooled by the illusion at all. She was teasing me. How hateful. Now that the illusion had been broken, the 8th stage was naturally cleared. The 8th level of the Wuwei Tower has been cleared. Participant Yun Chujio, the reward has been cancelled. The accumulated points are minus 12,800 points. The accumulated points are minus 25,300 points. Yun Chujio was immediately enraged. Fuck. I did not take away your spirit stones again this time. What right do you have to cancel the reward? What right do you have to give me negative points? You old bastard. Get the hell out of here. Stop hiding in the back and pretending to be a ghost. Are you so ugly that you can't let anyone see you? Qi Ling trembled and directly opened the 9th level, the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower, open, trial taker Yun Chujio. Chapter 484, Live long and see outside the Wuwei Tower, everyone was boiling with excitement. Oh my god, Yun Chujio has entered the 9th level. It might not be Yun Chujio. Didn't you see that her score has already become minus 25,300 points? You say it isn't Yun Chujio, but then who else could it be? Let's not argue anymore. When Yun Chujio is finally ejected, the truth will be revealed. While Yun Chujio was cursing happily, she was directly teleported to the 9th floor. Yun Chujio was a little confused when she saw the scene in front of her. What was the meaning of this? In front of Yun Chujio was a stone platform that was about 10 feet square. On the stone platform were thousands of exquisite little jade bottles. Yun Chujio thought to herself, could it be that the Wuwei Tower's conscience has been discovered? This was a medicinal pill to supplement her. However, what use did she have for this lousy medicinal pill? She might as well give her some spirit stones. Just as Yun Chujio was feeling puzzled, a slightly smug voice said, the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower's trial has been opened. Trial Taker Yun Chujio. Each jade bottle contains a medicinal pill. Only one of the medicinal pills in the jade bottle is not poisonous. Choose one and swallow it. You can't open it to see. You can only rely on luck to choose one. Qi Ling was very pleased with herself. She held a jade bottle in her hand. "Ha, little fellow, you dare to offend me. I have already taken out the only pill that isn't poisonous. No matter which pill you choose, it will be filled with poison. If you eat it, you will die, and then you will be ejected out of the tower." After hearing Qi Ling's words, Yun Chujio couldn't believe her ears. The 9th trial was such an unreliable test. No wonder Patriarch Ling Hua couldn't pass it. What kind of heaven-defying luck did he have to pass it? The odds were almost 1 in 1,000. However, it was too easy for me, right? Yun Chujio rolled her eyes and said with suspicion, "You're not lying to me, right? Are all the pills here poisonous?" "Nonsense. Why would I take out the ones that aren't poisonous first? Hurry up and choose. Don't dilly-dally." Qi Ling said loudly while feeling a little guilty. Yun Chujio pursed her lips. However, it was also reasonable. She had taken out so many spirit stones from the tower, so it was understandable for Qi Ling to resort to dirty tricks. Whether you removed it out or not, you know in your heart. Before I choose, I'll ask you a few questions. The first question is, do I pick one and eat it? If nothing happens to me after I eat it, will I pass this test? That's right. As long as you eat it, you would have passed this stage. No matter which Yun Chujio chose, it would be filled with poison. If you ate it, you would definitely die. The second question is, if I pass this stage, what rewards and how many points will I get? Don't tell me you will still cancel the rewards and give me negative points. Qi Ling thought, You haven't even passed it yet, and you are already thinking about the rewards and points. Since it's impossible to pass anyway, I'll just tell you. Don't worry, as long as you can pass it, I will give you the rewards for this stage. There are infinite points for this round. As long as you pass it, you will end up first on the ranking board. Then what exactly is the reward for this round? If it isn't good enough, I don't want it. I'll just stay here and not get out. Anyway, since I haven't finished the test for this round, you can't bounce me out. The food in my storage ring is enough for me to live for at least 8 to 10 years. Yun Chujio said shamelessly. Qi Ling felt that she had seen it all after living for such a long time. Qi Ling had lived for tens of thousands of years, but this was the first time she had met such a shameless human. Yun Chujio had dug out her disc array, spirit stones, and even blackmailed her little spider. Now, she was still acting like a scoundrel. It was really infuriating. Chapter 485, Let me stay unconscious, what's the harm in telling you? If you pass this test, you will get a map and a jade token. As for what map it is, you don't need to know. You won't be able to pass after all. Qi Ling said disdainfully. What? That lousy reward for this test. I'm not going to attempt it then. I haven't slept well for the past 2 days, so I decided to sleep here. Yun Chujio actually took out a recliner and happily lay on it. She closed her eyes and was ready to fall asleep. Qi Ling was so angry that she was about to hit the wall. Oh my God, who can tell me where this disaster came from? If there was no one in the Wuwei Tower, it would be in a dormant state and would not consume any spirit stones. As long as there were people inside, the spirit stones would be continuously consumed. If this scoundrel really lay here for a year or so, wouldn't it be a huge loss? You. What do you want me to do before you start choosing? Qi Ling had no choice but to capitulate. What do you want to do? Give me all the rewards from the previous rounds. Then, pay me an extra 100 sparkling top-grade spirit stones. If you don't agree. Humph. I will set up camp here. Yun Chuzhou was fearless. No matter how powerful Qi Ling was, she still had to follow the rules. As long as Yun Chuzhou did not choose a porcelain bottle to eat the pills inside, Qi Ling would not be able to do anything to her. After Yun Chuzhou finished speaking, she did not hear any reply for a long time. She was puzzled. Could it be that she had fainted from anger? Could it be that she had died from anger? It would be terrible if she died from anger. If she had known earlier, she would have asked for a few spirit stones less. The weapon spirit that had fainted from anger. She got up and gnashed her teeth as she said, Yun Chuzhou. You are absolutely the most shameless person that I have ever seen enter the Wuwei Tower. All right. I promise you, as long as you can pass this round, I will do as you say. I will give you the rewards from the previous rounds, and then I will pay you 100 supreme-grade spirit stones. Hurry up and choose a pill. What if you are lying? Swear on it. Just say that if Yun Chuzhou did not die after eating the pills, Yun Chuzhou will pass this round, and you will give Yun Chuzhou infinite points. In addition to the map and jade token for this round, you will also give Yun Chuzhou the rewards from the previous rounds, and 100 supreme-grade spirit stones as a bonus. If you don't do as you are told, your soul will be shattered. Qi Ling gritted her teeth and repeated Yun Chuzhou's words. Yun Chuzhou then put away the recliner and casually picked up a jade bottle. She poured out the pill inside and swallowed it. Qi Ling was so excited that tears welled up in her eyes. She just had to wait a little longer and this shameless brat would have died. Qi Ling could finally have her thrown out. Ha ha ha. Little brat, you want to fight with me? After she went out, what awaited her was all sorts of ridicule. She had already lost 25,300 points. However, after waiting bitterly for a while, Qi Ling did not see any discomfort from Yun Chuzhou. On the contrary, she seemed even more lively. Hey, this little jade bottle of yours is quite exquisite. I want to keep it as a souvenir. Yun Chuzhou shamelessly put the little jade bottle in her storage ring, and then her eyes stared at the other little jade bottles. Do you have any strict rules? You have to eat only one pill. Can I eat a few more? Yun Chuzhou asked with a smile. Qi Ling thought that perhaps the poison pill had been left out for too long and the medicinal effect was not enough. If she ate a few more, she would definitely be poisoned to death. So, she said, no, you can eat as many pills as you want. An hour later, Qi Ling fainted on the ground again. That damned smelly girl ate all the pills on the stone platform and even packed up the little jade bottles. She should just stay unconscious for a while, waking up to this is too painful. Chapter 486, The stone platform looked pretty good too. This small jade bottle is so exquisite. If we sell the pills, will it be able to improve the consumer by several grades? It's just that there aren't many of them. Yun Chuzhou held a small jade bottle and said happily. Hey! Did you faint again? Hurry up and fulfill your promise. This lousy place is really boring. I'm going out. Seeing that the spirit didn't respond for a long time, Yun Chuzhou estimated that it was probably angered by her and fainted again. Qi Ling struggled to get up from the ground. She was very sure that she had to send this walking disaster away quickly. Otherwise, the stone platform would be taken away by her. Because this girl was holding a large kitchen knife and gesturing at the stone platform. What material is this stone platform made of? It looks round and shiny. Doesn't seem like a bad idea to chop off a piece to make a stone bed. Yun Chuzhou said as she took the large kitchen knife and was about to start chopping. Stop. Stop. I'll do it. Just hurry up and leave, said Qi Ling with a trembling voice while she threw a pile of things on the ground. Yun Chuzhou looked at the things on the ground. Other than a sheepskin scroll and a jade token, the most dazzling thing was the 100 supreme grade spirit stones. The rest were just a few bottles of pills and several middle-grade spirit tools. Are you kidding me? I heard that our patriarch Ling Hua obtained quite a few good items on the 8th level. Are you going to fucking leave me with these pieces of junk? Even though Yun Chujio said this, her hands were not idle. She kept all the items on the ground into her storage ring, afraid that Qi Ling would take them back. Humph. Your Ling Hua sect doesn't have any good items. That Yuan Ling Hua shamelessly chose all 4 items on the 8th level. There are only 4 treasures on the 8th level, and he took them away. What else should I give you? Scram. As Qi Ling thought of that brat from 10,000 years ago, she became even angrier. She directly ejected Yun Chujio out of the Wuwei Tower. Outside the Wuwei Tower, everyone's gaze was focused on it. Although Yun Chujio's points had now become negative 25,300 points, everyone was still curious. Did Yun Chujio make it to the 9th level? And why did she get so many negative points? Ah! Ah! Quickly catch me! Quickly catch me! Yun Chujio screamed as she was ejected from the 9th floor. Just as Master Xianyuan and the others were about to pick Yun Chujio up, they saw a large chopping board catch Yun Chujio and slowly land. Little Jiu, are you alright? Elder Xianyuan and the others surrounded her. Yun Chujio giggled. I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you guys alright? Humph. Yun Chujio, because of you, our Ling Hua sect ended up in last place. What do you think? Qi Pianpian said softly from the side. The other disciples of the Ling Hua sect also looked at Yun Chujio with dissatisfaction. If it weren't for her, they would have gotten 3rd place at least. Zhuo Piaoyu looked at Yun Chujio with a cold smile. Yun Chujio, not only will you lose your identity as a successor disciple, but you will also be hated by all the disciples of the Ling Hua sect because of the negative points. You have received your retribution. Yun Chujio frowned. That shouldn't be. That damn Qi Ling said she would make her have infinite points. Yun Chujio raised her head and looked at the stone wall. Her name was indeed in last place, and her points were still negative 25,300 points. Yun Chujio immediately became angry. She picked up the large kitchen knife and ran to the front of the Wuwei Tower. She placed her hands on her waist and cursed, "You old fart. Didn't you say that after I passed the 9th stage, my points would become infinite? Were you fucking lying? Change it now. Or I'll chop you to death." Chapter 487, Isn't it awesome? Everyone looked at Yun Chujio in a daze as she stomped her feet and cursed outside the Wuwei Tower. There was only one thought in their hearts. Was this person crazy? TSK, this Yun Chujio must have lost face, so she's resorting to such desperate antics. What a weirdo. She even went to threaten the Wuwei Tower. Who does she think she is? Why would the Wuwei Tower feel threatened by her? Besides, she still has the nerve to say that she passed the 9th level. Even Patriarch Linghua couldn't pass it, how could she possibly pass it? Exactly, I saw that the 8th and 9th levels light up earlier. I think there's something wrong with the Wuwei Tower. Infinite points, this is simply. Oh my god. The points have really turned into the shape of a small tower. Everyone saw that Yun Chujio's points on the stone wall were no longer negative. Instead, they had turned into a shrunken Wuwei pagoda. Then, her ranking rose until she finally overtook Su Yenran and placed first. Furthermore, 3 words appeared in front of Patriarch Linghua on the stone wall, Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio heard everyone gasping. She turned her head and saw that her points had really put her in first place. Only then did she viciously say, "At least you know your place. Why didn't you change it earlier? Why did you have to let me scold you? You bastard." Perhaps it was an illusion, but everyone felt that the Wuwei Tower trembled a few times, as if from anger. Su Yenran looked at the words Yun Chujio that was firmly pressing down on her head on the stone wall, and her mind went blank. It was Yun Chujio again. At the last moment again. Why? Why did Yun Chujio always appear and snatch away her victories at the last minute? Yun Chujio, you deserve to die. You shouldn't be alive. Yun Chujio hopped in front of Master Shenyuan. Master Shenyuan, did you get quite a scare earlier? Did you think that I was holding back our Linghua sect? Are you happy now? Isn't it awesome? Our Linghua sect will be number one. Ha ha ha. Little Jiu, you did well. Linghua sect is proud of you. Master Shenyuan felt that his old heart was indeed powerful. Even after experiencing such excitement and sorrow, it was still beating so vigorously. Yun Chujio swept a glance at the disciples of the Linghua sect who were gossiping just now. At this moment, those people were already embarrassed beyond words. Especially Chi Piaoyu, she wished she could find a hole to hide in. Chua Piaoyu's face was as pale as a sheet. It was over. She had lost. Could it be that she wanted to voluntarily give up her identity as a successor disciple? Yun Chujio did not pay attention to her. She was not afraid of settling the score, but she wanted to get her hands on those 3 spirit tools first. Sect leaders, I have passed the 9th stage. Do you want to reward me? Yun Chujio looked at Du Gai and the other 2 with a smile. Du Gai's face had turned purple. He had fallen from paradise to the 18th level of hell. The words that he had said before felt like slaps to his own mouth. It was all because of this damn Yun Chujio. If it weren't for her, their Heaven's Gate sect would definitely be number 1. Moreover, Su Yenran performed so well initially that she became famous. Their Heaven's Gate sect received both fame and fortune. Now all their glory had been snatched away by this wretched girl. Impossible. How could she possibly pass the 9th round? There must be something wrong with the Wuwei Tower. You. Go and threaten the Wuwei Tower like Yun Chujio did, and let the Wuwei Tower change your results to infinity. Du Gai felt that Yun Chujio's scolding might have played a role, therefore, he pointed at a male disciple of the Heaven sect and asked him to scold the Wuwei Tower like Yun Chujio. Chapter 488, A Slap to Send You Flying. The male disciple of the Heaven sect braced himself and walked to the front of the Wuwei Tower. Imitating Yun Chujio's speech, he held his treasured sword and cursed loudly, Wuwei Tower, you old fart. You're shameless. Hurry up and turn my points into infinity. Do you hear me? Or I'll chop you to death. The crowd saw the Wuwei Tower conjure up a large palm, then slapped the male disciple and sending him flying. The crowd only saw a black dot disappear into the horizon. They did not know if the male disciple would still be alive. The Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling was furious. Fuck. It was fine if that little girl scolded it. After all, she had passed the 9th level of the trial. How dare a little piece of trash scold it? It was asking for a beating. This Heaven sect was too detestable. This Qi Ling must teach them a lesson. You want unlimited points? Qi Ling will turn all your points into a negative number. Let's see if you still want unlimited points. Idiots. This slap from the Wuwei Tower was like a hard slap on Du Gai's face. If he had not told that disciple to scold the Wuwei Tower, that disciple would not have been sent flying. Sect Master Dugu, why don't you scold him yourself? I reckon that your scolding will be more effective than that person's. Yun Chujio said with a grin. Du Gai almost spat out a mouthful of blood. This smelly girl knows how to go straight for the heart. Just as he was about to say something, he heard some disciples scream. Oh my God! All the disciples of the Heaven sect have had their points turned negative. It's true. That Su Yenran originally had 6,300 points, but now she has become negative 6,300 points. What's going on? Is the Wuwei Tower having a stroke? Che. Isn't this simple? Just now, the male disciple of the Heaven sect scolded the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling. In a fit of anger, Qi Ling turned all their points into negative points. You're right. Ha ha ha. The Heaven sect made a fool of themselves this time. They were originally in second place, but now they're in last place. Ha ha ha. Previously, the Heaven sect was still mocking Yun Chujio. Now, they've slapped their own faces. It's so funny. The people of the Heaven sect were all dumbfounded. This day was simply too exciting. From first place to second place, and now to fourth place. They had even become a huge laughingstock. Some of the elders of the Heavenly Gate sect were somewhat dissatisfied with Du Gai. Some time ago, it was because of his mistake that they compensated the Linghua sect with 1/10 of their spirit stones. Because of his arbitrariness, they lost 10 million low-grade spirit stones to the Linghua sect. Now, because of that stupid decision he made, not only was that disciple's life in danger, but their Heaven's Gate sect had also changed from second place to fourth place. Du Gai was too incompetent as a sect master. Du Gai's vision went dark and he almost fainted. It was over. It was already bad enough that the first place had been snatched away by the Linghua sect. Now, it had changed from second place to fourth place. What did he mean by overreaching and throwing a stone at his own feet? This was what he meant. Du Gai wished he could find a hole to hide in. Especially when he saw Fairy Yumei and Dao Zhenyi's overjoyed expressions, his intestines turned green with regret. When Du Gai saw the smiling Yun Chujio at the side, he wished he could strangle her to death. If she had not asked him for a reward, how could he have come up with such a stupid idea? So the main culprit was Yun Chujio. Sooner or later, he would kill her. Chapter 489, From now on, I am a rich person. Yun Chujio saw that the heavenly sect's points had turned negative, and her heart was bursting with joy. This stingy old Qi Ling was finally doing something right. Let's see how the Heaven's Gate sect will show off this time. Yun Chujio saw Du Gai's face turn green and white and knew that she could not provoke him now. Otherwise, this old fellow would be so angry from embarrassment that he might really kill her. If she was hurt, it would not be worth it. Therefore, she looked at Fairy Yumei and Taoist priest Zhenyi and said with a smile, "Sect leaders, where is the agreed reward?" Fairy Yumei and Taoist priest Zhenyi each took out a middle-grade spirit weapon and gave it to Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio thanked them with a smile and praised them repeatedly for their generosity. They were indeed worthy of being the sect leaders. Du Gai's face turned green and red when he heard that. He could only grit his teeth and take out a middle-grade spirit weapon from his storage ring and threw it to Yun Chujio. It was rare that Yun Chujio did not provoke him and obediently thanked him. Du Gai wanted to use this as an excuse, but he had none. He was so angry that he almost vomited blood again. Fairy Yumei asked curiously, "Little girl, what reward did you get for passing the 8th and 9th levels of the Wuwei Tower's trial?" Yun Chujio's small face scrunched up. "I don't want to talk about it. This damn Wuwei Tower is so stingy. It just had to say that all the treasures on the 8th level were stolen by our patriarch Linghua, but the 8th level did not give me anything. What about the 9th level?" Fairy Yumei thought to herself. This Linghua sect really had the origin of the sect, and this trick was inherited from the same origin. A sparkling stone appeared in Yun Chujio's small hand. "I don't know what this thing is, but it rewarded me with 20 pieces of this thing." Heavens! Supreme Grade Spirit Stone. This is a Supreme Grade Spirit Stone. The people who were still skeptical at first saw the Supreme Grade Spirit Stone that Yun Chujio took out and immediately dispelled their doubts. Only this Wuwei Tower would have Supreme Grade Spirit Stones that only existed 10,000 years ago. The quality of the Spirit Stone ore now was much lower than before. There were no Supreme Grade Spirit Stones out of the one's mind at all. May I ask, how many low-grade spirit stones is one piece of this thing worth? Yun Chujio asked the sect leaders with her eyes shining brightly. 10,000 years ago, one supreme-grade spirit stone could be exchanged for 1 million low-grade spirit stones. However, the rarer the item, the more precious it is. Now, the number of supreme-grade spirit stones is extremely small. One piece should be able to be exchanged for 2 million low-grade spirit stones. Fairy Yume thought for a moment and said. Yun Chujio was about to burst with joy. She was going to be rich. She had extorted 100 pieces from the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling. Furthermore, she had dug out more than 100 pieces on her own. Oh my God, even with her brain, she could not calculate it properly. From now on, I am a rich person. Pretty boy, if you continue to give her a hard time, get lost. Du Gai's eyes flickered, and he asked with ill intentions, little girl, other than these 20 supreme-grade spirit stones, you didn't get anything else? Why would the Wuwei Tower only reward these few things? Yes, there are several other things besides these 20 supreme-grade spirit stones. Yun Chujio took out the few things that the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling had compensated her with. Just these? That's impossible, right? There isn't anything of a higher grade here. Du Gai didn't believe it. Sect leader Du Gai, if you really don't believe it, why don't you go ask the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling? Maybe when the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling is happy, it will turn your heavenly sex points into a positive number. Yun Chujio said with a smile. Du Gai's old face flushed red. Damn girl, she was despicable. Chapter 490. The White Lotus Flower needs refinement. Even though Master Xianyuan was very happy that the Linghua sect had obtained the first place, he was not as ostentatious as Du Gai, nor did he taunt him. A tree that stands out in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. The dim Yun Chujio had already managed to pass the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower. For now, he wanted to avoid being targeted by others. However, even though Master Xianyuan thought if he wanted to keep a low profile, he could not. In tens of thousands of years, only Yun Chujio had passed the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower. After this incident, Yun Chujio's name spread throughout the entire Qin Xian continent. Although Su Yanran was also very outstanding, compared to Yun Chujio's radiance, she appeared dull. However, because Yun Chujio looked to be only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm, everyone viewed her passing the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower as down to pure luck. As they considered that the disciples needed to replenish their spirit energy and adjust their mental states, the second round of the competition was scheduled to be held 2 days later. Yun Chujio felt that she was too conspicuous, so she didn't sign up to participate in any of the competitions. Yun Chujio became famous after just one event. Although everyone still felt that she had just gotten lucky enough to pass the 9th level of the Wuwei Tower, that luck could also be considered a part of her strength. After all, Yun Chujio had helped the Linghua sect to turn the tables and obtain victory twice. Therefore, many disciples of the Linghua sect began to be friendly to Yun Chujio, and they all called her junior sister Little Jiu. Yun Chujio was unperturbed. She had said long ago that they would only be jealous when she was just a little stronger than them. Now that she had reached a level that they did not even dare to think of, they naturally became respectful towards her. Chua Piaoyu wished that she could turn invisible. She was afraid that Yun Chujio would make her fulfill her promise. However, she did not know if Yun Chujio had forgotten about the bet and did not even mention it. Chua Piaoyu was on tenterhooks. It was as if a sword were hanging above her head, ready to fall at any moment. Every time Yun Chujio looked over, she felt her heart was in her throat. Yun Chujio was secretly enjoying this. Little fellow, they'll torture you to death. They'll let you live in fear and trepidation for the rest of your life. I'm scaring myself with these thoughts. Chua Piaoyu could not stand this torture anymore. She took the initiative to look for Peak Master Yuan and recounted everything that had happened. She cried and begged him to help her plead for mercy. Peak Master Yuan had always placed great importance on Zhuo Piaoyu. After reprimanding her, he dragged Peak Master Yu of Middle Peak to look for Yun Chuzhou to plead for Zhuo Piaoyu. Little Jiu, I've already reprimanded that child, Piaoyu. Regarding the bet, do you think you can make an exception? Peak Master Yuan said with a flushed face. Peak Master Yu, who was at the side, also advised, Little Jiu, you have to forgive and forget. You can't really demote Zhuo Piaoyu to an inner sect disciple just because of a bet. It won't look good if word gets out. Yun Chuzhou smiled faintly, two Peak Masters, I don't know what version you heard, but at that time, Zhuo Piaoyu was the one who took the initiative to set up the bet and said that whoever goes back on their word would be a turtle bastard. After thinking a short while she added, how about this? Since she wants to go back on her word, that's fine too. If she walks around outside with a turtle bastard sign, the bet will be voided. The corners of Peak Master Yuan and Peak Master Yu's eyes twitched violently. If they did that, they might as well have Zhuo Piaoyu demoted to an inner disciple. I'm just saying this out of anger. How about this, since the two of you have come to plead for her, add another 1,000,000 spirit stones to the original 1,000,000 spirit stones, and this matter will be over. However, Peak Master Yuan, I advise you to take a good look at this successive disciple of yours. The white lotus flower needs refinement. Chapter 491, Elder Brother's spirit stones are yours to spend as you wish. A white lotus flower needing refinement. Peak Master Yuan and Peak Master Yu exchanged a glance. What did a white lotus flower needing refinement mean? Yun Chuzhou couldn't be bothered to explain it to them. In any case, Peak Master Yuan, you just have to pay attention. With your intelligence, you'll soon discover the problem. You can't just look at the surface of things. Go back and think about it yourself. Yun Chuzhou accepted the 2,000,000 low-grade spirit stones that Peak Master Yuan had transferred over and waved her hands to send the guest off. Peak Master Yuan took Yun Chuzhou's words to heart and decided to keep an eye out for Zhuo Piaoyu's actions in the future. The four great sects had all set up camp, preparing for the competition in 2 days. Yun Chuzhou's thoughts had long flown to Wuwei City. She heard that Wuwei City was very lively, and she wanted to go for a stroll there. However, now that the competition was about to start, even if she proposed it, Master Xianyuan would not agree, so she did not want to bring trouble herself. Just as Yun Chuzhou was bored to death, a flying spirit tool flew over from afar. Little sister Jiu. Big brother is here to see you. Shui Wuji gracefully jumped down from the flying spirit tool. His bright red clothes were blown up by the wind, attracting the attention of a group of women. Big brother Wuji, it's not even my birthday yet. Why are you here? Yun Chuzhou cursed in her heart. Although this fellow was a little silly, he was indeed very pleasing to the eye. Unfortunately, the pretty boy did not allow me to draw his figure. If I were to draw a few portraits, it would sell like crazy. Humph. That expressionless man thinks he can stall me just because he wants to find something to do. In your dreams. It just so happens that he's not here. Big brother will bring you to Wuwei City for a stroll. You can buy whatever you want. Big brother will pay for it. Big brother is really rich. Shui Wuji changed his usual stingy personality, he said heroically. Yun Chuzhou's eyes lit up. How could she miss such a good opportunity? She went and shamelessly begged Master Xianyuan to give her a day off. Master Xianyuan couldn't bear her coquettish manner and could only nod in agreement. However, he told her that she had to be back before nightfall. Yun Chuzhou repeatedly promised and then hopped along with Shui Wuji as they rushed to Wuwei City. Wuwei City was very lively. Many cultivators knew that the four major sects were going to hold a competition here for 30 years, so they came to watch the show. The competition 2 days later especially attracted many cultivators. Some vendors quickly seized the business opportunity. Whether it was the shops or the roadside vendors, they tried their best to attract customers. The first thing Yun Chujio did was eat. She and Xue Wuji found a restaurant. After the waiter brought the menu, Yun Chujio asked Xue Wuji seriously, "Brother Wuji, are you really the one paying for everything?" Xue Wuji brushed his hair and said affectionately, "Sister Little Jiu, when you are with me in the future, I will pay for all the expenses." "You are right. You don't have to bring spirit stones with you. As long as you are happy, you can spend my spirit stones however you like." Yun Chujio shivered. "Brother Wuji, can you speak properly? Why do I feel so cold when you speak like that?" Xue Wuji was about to say something more romantic, but he held back. This little girl was so unromantic. "Forget it, let's take it slow. Little sister Jiu, you order the dishes. After we finish eating, I will take you out for a walk." Xue Wuji decided to go with her tastes. This little girl was gluttonous, so he would let her eat to her heart's content. Yun Chujio did not stand on ceremony. She picked the most expensive dishes and ordered a large table full of dishes. She ate happily. Seeing that she was eating happily, Xue Wuji felt a little hungry. The two of them chatted as they ate. The atmosphere was very harmonious. Chapter 492, Prince Charming. What a coincidence. After the meal, Yun Chujio and Xue Wuji first went to the snack shop to buy a bunch of candied fruits, preserved fruits, and dried fruits. Then, they went to the delicatessen shop to buy a lot of cooked food and kept them in their storage rings. Then, Yun Chujio dived into the final destination of this trip, the shop that sold storybooks. When Yun Chujio entered the storybook shop, she was like a fish in water. The selection was so wide that she could not stop buying every book she saw. This book was not bad, and that book was also very good. She ended up buying several hundred books. When Xue Wuji paid, he was staggered when he saw the covers of those books. The harem of a beautiful man with a smiling face, a handsome man sitting in a row, every husband is beautiful. After leaving the store, Xue Wuji coughed dryly twice. "Little sister Jiu, your interest is very unique. It really surprised me. Brother Wuji, do you want to read it too? I have 2 books here. Take them and read them. They are very good. I can already recite them fluently." Yun Chujio took out 2 books with bald edges from her storage ring and handed them to Xue Wuji. After Xue Wuji took them, he felt that he was in a bad mood. One of them was The Daily Life of a Flower-Picking Female Thief, and the other was The Empress Male Pets. Xue Wuji felt that the 2 books in his hands were a little inappropriate, so he hurriedly stuffed them into Yun Chujio's hands. "Little sister Jiu, it's better if you keep them for yourself. I'm not interested. Brother Wuji, take them and read them. They're really beautiful. Why don't you show them to the beauties in your palace? They'll definitely like them." Yun Chujio felt that she had spent a lot of spirit stones on Xue Wuji today. If she didn't give him something in return, she would feel a little guilty. Cough, cough. The main reason was that she was just bored of reading these 2 books. They don't want to read them either. You should keep them for yourself. Xue Wuji couldn't imagine what would happen if he took these 2 scripts back. Those beauties would think that I'm a pervert. Aya, don't be polite. Take them. Little sister Jiu, you should keep them. Brother Wuji, you don't have to be polite with me. Just take them. Yun Chujio felt that her hands were empty. Then, she heard a voice that was gnashing her teeth. "Black thing, what is this?" Yun Chujio's head buzzed. Fuck, why did the gigolo appear every time she was out with Wuji? I think these 2 must be having an affair. Yun Chujio blinked at Xue Wuji desperately and then turned around, her face full of surprise. "My Prince Charming, what a coincidence. You are shopping too. We are fated to meet each other. I predicted that we would meet here today, so I asked Brother Wuji to come with me. Ah, my Prince Charming, don't misunderstand. Everyone else is preparing for the competition. It is not safe for a weak girl like me to come out alone. Moreover, I am so beautiful. It is really not safe. Let me ask you, what is this? Di Biming's face was livid as he waved the notebook in his hand. This is what my brother Wuji bought just now. He said that he wanted to lend it to me to take a look. I thought of your teachings and said that I don't want it no matter what. Just like that. Brother Wuji, tell me, is this what happened? Yun Chujio turned her head and asked Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji saw that Yun Chujio's eyes were about to twitch. He gritted his teeth. Yes, that's right. This is what happened. Recently, I have fallen in love with this kind of book. The content is very interesting. I take it out to have a look whenever I have nothing to do. Can't you see that it's turning bald from overuse? Chapter 493, The Black Thing is Mine. Di Biming sneered, do you too think him an idiot? Shui Wuji, this is between me and the Black Thing. Get lost. Otherwise, it'll make your blood demon sect completely disappear. Shui Wuji narrowed his eyes. Di Biming, do you think I'm afraid of you? Many young masters just don't want little sister Jiu to see a joke. Since you want to fight so much, I'll indulge you to the end. Di Biming waved his hand, the two words instantly turned into ashes. Shui Wuji, I'll first send the Black Thing back to the Wuwei Tower's camp. Then, we'll find a place to have a good spar. Ever since the last battle, I've always wanted to have a good spar with you. Shui Wuji sneered. I brought little sister Jiu out. Naturally, I'll be sending her back. Get lost. The Black Thing belongs to me. There's no need for you to send her home. Get lost. Di Biming felt a ball of fire in his heart. Although the matter did not come to an end last time, he inexplicably sensed an impending crisis. This time, seeing the two of them pulling and tugging at each other on the street, he was even more furious. Little sister Jiu is yours. Are you shameless? Did you marry her or did she marry you? Or is she your spiritual pet? You're too controlling. Shui Wuji lazily brushed his hair and said mockingly. On the street, two outstanding men were fighting over the same woman, which immediately ignited the gossip among the onlookers. "Oh, how interesting. That little girl is so bland. I didn't expect her to be so capable. Those two look like they come from extraordinary backgrounds. Even good cabbages have been eaten by pigs. I think the one in white is not bad. I can tell that he is a decent person at a glance. The one in red looks demonic no matter how I look at him. TSK. The one in white looks like he wants to eat people. The one in red is better. He looks easy to get along with." Yun Chujio saw that the two of them were at daggers drawn, so she raised her hands weakly. "Stop quarreling, both of you, send me back together. It's a misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. Why don't we go back and fight the landlord?" "Shut up." Di Biming glared at her fiercely. "Di Biming, don't scold little sister Jiu. Little sister Jiu is not your subordinate. What right do you have to always be fierce to little sister Jiu? Little sister Jiu, don't be afraid, big brother will take care of you from now on." Shui Wuji said indignantly. "Shui Wuji, it's not your place to tell me what to do. Do you think I'm willing to talk nonsense with you? I just don't like how you treat little sister Jiu. Girls are like delicate flowers that need to be carefully protected. You don't deserve little Jiu with how rough you treat her. You Black Thing, come with me." Di Biming could not win against Shui Wuji, so he simply grabbed Yun Chujio's arm and flew away on his sword. Seeing the two of them leave, Shui Wuji glanced at the surrounding crowd and said, "Hua hua, let those talkative people who speak ill of me learn their lesson." After saying that, Xue Wuji rode his sword and chased after Di Baiming and Yun Chujiu. Secret Agent Hua Hua was about to make a move when she saw An Feng walk out from the corner. The two of them looked at each other and smiled bitterly. They quickly beat up the onlookers and then chased after the three people in front of them. The two of them felt so miserable that they cried silently along the way. The two malefactors were actually quarreling in the street. If this were to spread to the Tianyuan continent, it would make people laugh their heads off. Chapter 494, How Could He Be Jealous? Yun Chujiu was almost out of breath from Di Baiming's embrace. She said pitifully, "Prince Charming, I can't breathe. It'd be better to fly by myself on the chopping board." If Yun Chujiu said this normally, Di Baiming would not think too much about it. However, after the argument with Xue Wuji, Yun Chujiu's words sounded like she did not want to ride the sword with him. Like she wanted to stay away from him. Di Baiming's gripped her harder. "Black thing, you belong to me. Don't even think about leaving me." Yun Chujiu felt some pain from Di Baiming's pincer-like arm. She could not help but frown. "You're hurting me." "Humph. Xue Wuji is right. You're really like a delicate flower." Di Baiming's face was livid, but his grip loosened. Yun Chujiu cursed in her heart. This gigolo, bastard. How could he be jealous? If she had known this would happen, she would have admitted that those words were originally hers. However, if she admitted it now, the gigolo would definitely think that she and Wuji had joined forces to lie to him. He would probably get angrier. What should she do? If these two really fought, both of them would suffer heavy injuries. Very soon, they arrived at the place where the Linghua faction had set up camp. Di Baiming carried Yun Chujiu down from the flying sword. Instantly, some female disciples started to whisper among themselves with jealousy. "This Yun Chujiu is amazing. When she went off, she was with Yun Chuling. Now, she's back with young Master Di. She has one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Comparing people is so infuriating." That's right. This Yun Chujiu is just lucky. She could even pass through the Wuwei Tower. What does this man count as? Who knows, she might change to another in a few days. While they were talking happily, they were suddenly forced to kneel on the ground by a terrifying pressure. Di Baiming looked at them coldly. "Do you want to die?" The female disciples did not doubt that if they said yes, Di Baiming would really kill them. "Get lost." Di Baiming waved his sleeve, and the female disciples scrambled away. "Prince Charming, you are so handsome. I like your clear-cut personality the most. You should treat me as warm as spring, and as cruel and merciless as the cold winter. Prince Charming, are you tired? Sit down and rest for a while. I'll massage your shoulders for you." Yun Chujiu said obsequiously. Di Baiming snorted coldly and ignored her. His eyes were burning with anger as he looked at Xue Wuji who was flying over on his sword. Yun Chujiu rolled her eyes, she turned around and ran into the temporary meeting room. "Sect Master! Sect Master! My Prince Charming and Wuji are about to fight. Just say that you'll treat them to a meal. Hurry up. If they fight, both of them will be injured. Besides, they may be able to help in the competition in 2 days." When Master Xianyuan heard this, he quickly brought a group of elders outside. As expected, Di Baiming and Xue Wuji were like two roosters fighting for luck. "Young Master Di, young Master Yun, long time no see. Please come in," Master Xianyuan said with a smile. Although Di Baiming and Xue Wuji didn't think much of the Linghua sect, because of Yun Chujiu, they were still polite to Master Xianyuan. When Yun Chujiu saw that the two of them didn't directly reject him, so she directly grabbed Di Baiming's arm and pulled him in. As long as the pretty boy was restrained, Wuji would not take the initiative to start a fight unless he wanted to be tortured. As expected, Xue Wuji's eyes flashed when he saw Di Biming enter the meeting room and followed him in. Chapter 495, Black Chicken Head was about to cause trouble. After everyone exchanged pleasantries, Master Xianyuan briefly talked about the matter of the Wuwei Tower trial. Xue Wuji said with pride, "Little Sister Jiu is really smart. How can those idiots compare to Little Sister Jiu? Not to mention the 9th floor, even if it was the 90th floor, Little Sister Jiu would be able to pass it." If it was any other time, Yun Chujiu would have been smug when she heard Xue Wuji's words. However, it was an emergency now, so it was better to keep a low profile. Otherwise, the gigolo would be furious again. Hence, she just smiled and did not say anything. Little Sister Jiu is not only smart but also modest. If it were any other person, they would have been smug already. Look at Little Sister Jiu, she is calm and collected. I admire her. Xue Wuji spoke with confidence and assurance. Yun Chujiu was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Is this Black Chicken Head looking for trouble? Yun Chujiu glared at him. She did not expect Xue Wuji to immediately say, "Little Sister Jiu, why are you winking at me? Do you want to have a private conversation with me?" Di Biming's eyes were like knives as he looked at Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu shrunk her neck. She was about to cry because of Xue Wuji's stupidity. She did not know what this idiot was planning. It was obvious that he wanted to cause trouble. Master Xianyuan saw that the atmosphere was tense and quickly changed the topic. "Little Jiu, I haven't had the chance to ask you. Why did you get a negative score in the first place when you were training in the Wuwei Tower?" Yun Chujiu blinked her eyes and laughed dryly. "Hee, it's actually nothing much. I just dug out the spirit stones from each layer of the formation discs, and I even packed a few for myself." Everyone. What the hell? You went to practice, and then packed the other person's formation disc. What was the difference between this and going to a restaurant to eat and then packing the other person's food? It was too lenient to just give you a negative score. This girl was so greedy that she had reached a new realm of greed. After Elder Chu recovered from his shock, his eyes lit up as he said, "Little Jiu, quickly take out that formation disc." This old man has opened his eyes. Yun Chujiu said in a narrow-minded manner, "Okay, I'll take it out, but you can't snatch it. This is something that I worked hard to dig out." The corners of everyone's eyes twitched. Why did it feel so awkward to see the word "work hard" used here? Yun Chujiu took out a formation disc and placed it on the ground. Everyone gathered around and clicked their tongues in wonder. Xue Wuji also came over curiously. "Yo, the material of this formation disc is made of 10,000-year-old black iron. It's really extravagant." Yun Chujiu really did not look carefully. When she heard Xue Wuji say that, she immediately laughed. "Ha ha ha. I'm rich. I'm rich. It's really a pity that I can only enter the Wuwei Tower once. Otherwise, I'll definitely go 10 or 8 times and get all the formation discs." Everyone. Master Xianyuan looked at the groove on the formation disc. "Little Jiu, what kind of spirit stones are inside?" Yun Chujiu answered without hesitation, "High-grade spirit stones. Each of them contains 10 high-grade spirit stones." Master Xuanyuan's eyes flashed as he thought to himself, "You little girl, who are you trying to fool? The materials of the array board were all so rare. How could there be high-grade spirit stones in the grooves? It must be top-grade spirit stones." This little girl had profited quite a lot in this trial. Elder Chu was unable to put it down. However, Yun Chujiu had spoken first, so he had no choice but to let Yun Chujiu keep the formation disc and prepare to return to the sect to borrow it for research. "Oh right, little nine, how did you discover the formation core? Do you know formations?" Elder Chu asked curiously. Chapter 496, was too shocking, I don't know. I don't know anything about formations. I've never learned it before. Yun Chujio shrugged her shoulders and said. Then how did you find the formation core? Everyone was puzzled. It was not easy to find the formation core. If it was a coincidence, then finding one was understandable. However, finding so many in a row was definitely not a coincidence. I originally didn't know how to do it, but when I was bored in the library, I flipped through books on formations. After learning about it on the spot, I sold off the book. Of course, I didn't learn it so easily. In the beginning, I looked at the wrong places. Later, I got used to it, so I checked specific spots. Practice makes perfect. Yun Chujio said lightly. Everyone looked like they had nothing left to live for. Was this fellow's existence used to strike at our confidence? After flipping through a book, she could immediately learn the skill. Formations were the most difficult of the 4 arts of cultivators. Not everyone could learn it. One had to have a strong spiritual sense and comprehension. Many people couldn't even learn a 3rd-level formation after learning it for decades. Yun Chujio, just by blindly guessing and immediately learning from a book, found the core of the ancient formation. This was too ridiculous. As expected, those blessed by heaven were different from us normal people. Little sister Jiu, you are amazing. I have never admired anyone since I was young. From now on, you are my idol. Shui Wuji leaned on Yun Chujia's side and said in a flattering manner. Yun Chujio felt Di Baiming's cold breath coming out from her side. She did not dare to respond to Shui Wuji's words. She smiled foolishly and did not dare say anything. Little Jiu, what is the content of the 9th stage? Master Linghua did not even reach it. How did you manage to do it? Master Xianyuan quickly changed the topic when he saw the veins on Di Baiming's forehead bulging. The 9th stage has about 1,000 jade bottles. Out of the 1,000, only one contains pills that are not poisonous. I had to choose one according to that shameless old weapon spirit. Yun Chujio was tactful and cooperated with Master Xianyuan. Furthermore, you can't check the contents. You can only choose one based on your gut feeling. After you choose, you have to eat the pill. If there is no poison, you will pass. Otherwise, you will be ejected from the tower. Yun Chujio tactfully explained to Master Xianyuan. Choose one out of 1,000. Isn't this too difficult? It wouldn't be too bad if you could still check the bottle, but having to choose based on your gut feeling, then you can only rely on luck. Little Jiu, how did you decide? Did you really choose a random one? Elder Qi asked curiously. No. I have a trick. Yun Chujio giggled as she kept them guessing. What trick? There's a trick to tell the difference between the bottles. Everyone's curiosity was piqued by Yun Chujio. Ha ha ha. My trick is to turn around 3 times with my eyes closed, pick a random one, open the lid, and swallow the pill inside. Then, if I'm still alive and kicking, that stingy tool spirit said that I passed. Yun Chujio even admired herself. My ability to spout nonsense is getting better and better. Little sister Jiu, didn't you say that the old tool spirit resented you for taking its formation disc? Why would it agree to give you infinite points? Shui Wuji's presence could be felt anytime and anywhere. Humph. I threatened it. If it didn't swear to give me the points, I wouldn't choose a bottle. I would set up camp on the 9th floor. I even took out the recliner. Later on, that old tool spirit got dizzy and agreed to give me points after it got up. Everyone sympathized with the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling. It was truly unlucky to meet such a perverted little demon. No one had heard of anyone going to the trial and even threatening the Qi Ling. Chapter 497, I don't belong to anyone. The group chatted for a while longer until it was time for dinner. Originally, Master Xianyuan wanted to hold a banquet, but Yun Chujio suggested that it would be better if everyone barbecued meat. It would be more lively as they ate and chatted. Master Xianyuan was in a good mood, so he agreed to Yun Chujia's suggestion. Yun Chujio was afraid that Di Baiming and Xue Wuji would fight again, so she was like a hard-working bee. She busied herself non-stop to avoid becoming the focus of the conflict. Yun Chujio personally roasted a wind-edge rabbit. She brushed the top of it with eupatorium honey, and a strange fragrance assailed her nose. Xue Wuji sniffed and came up to her. "Little sister Jiu, your cooking is really good. The smell of this rabbit is overflowing. It's crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. It must be very delicious. Can you let me try a rabbit leg?" Yun Chujio did not think too much. She broke off a rabbit leg and handed it to Xue Wuji. Xue Wuji was not afraid of the heat, so after taking a bite, he looked at Di Baiming provocatively. "Tsk, the rabbit meat that little sister Jiu baked personally is really delicious. I have eaten so many delicacies, but none of them are as delicious as this rabbit leg." Yun Chujio wanted to strangle this idiot. Het must have done it on purpose. Di Baiming's manner grew cold. Yun Chujio felt a bone-piercing chill beside the bonfire. She quickly broke off a rabbit leg and handed it to Di Baiming. "Prince Charming, Brother Wuji's leg is the front leg. It has little meat, but yours is just the back leg. It has more meat. Try my cooking. How is it?" When Di Baiming heard Yun Chujia's words, the cold air surrounding him faded a little. He took the rabbit leg and took a bite. He said coldly, "It's okay. Di Baiming, how did your tongue grow? Is it just for decoration? How can you say it's okay with such delicious rabbit meat? I think you should go see a doctor for your tongue." Xue Wuji said provocatively. He did not know what was going on with him. Anyway, he was extremely displeased when he saw little sister Jiu treating Di Baiming. He wanted to stab Di Baiming a few times. Di Baiming threw the rabbit leg on the ground and suddenly stood up. "Xue Wuji, come over with me." "Humph. If you want to go over there, then go. Do you think I'm afraid of you? I just want to stretch my limbs." Xue Wuji also threw the rabbit leg in his hand and said provocatively. The two of them were at daggers drawn. The strong smell of gunpowder caused the scene to fall into a strange silence. Just as Master Xianyuan and the others were about to stop them, Yun Chujio picked up the two rabbit legs on the ground and threw them at Xue Wuji and Di Baiming. "Fuck. Are you two done? I worked so hard to roast the rabbit legs and you threw it on the ground just like that. Don't you know what it means to respect the results of other people's work? If you want to fight, then get lost and fight. Don't treat me like a maid. Also, I don't belong to anyone. I didn't belong to anyone in the past, I don't belong to anyone now, and I don't belong to anyone in the future. If anyone wants to threaten me with power, feelings, or benefits, get the fuck out of here. At worst, they'll just die. You two just have to kill me." After saying that, Yun Chujio kicked over the bonfire and returned to the female disciples' shed in a huff. Everyone was dumbfounded. Oh my god, this Yun Chujio was really scary. She actually used a rabbit's leg to smash these two malefic stars. She even scolded them. These two malefic stars must be enraged. We should stay far away to avoid being implicated. Di Baiming and Xue Wuji also did not expect Yun Chujio to suddenly lose her temper. Their faces were filled with astonishment. Both of them glared at each other. They rode their swords and left. However, they went in opposite directions. Chapter 498, Young Master, are you tempted? Xue Wuji cursed as he flew. It's all because of that stone-faced Di Baiming. If it wasn't for him, little sister Jiu and I would have been having a great time. Little sister Jiu is smart and good at talking. The roasted meat was so delicious. That stone face doesn't deserve little sister Jiu at all. He still bullies little sister Jiu all the time. How shameless. He even wants to spar with me. Bah! If I didn't see little sister Jiu getting angry, I would have beaten him up. Behind him, Secret Agent Huahua had a worried look on her face. It was over. The young master still refused to admit it. It was obvious that he was already emotionally affected. Why else would he be so angry? What did it have to do with how Di Baiming treated Yun Chuzhou? Do you still want to fight for justice? Do you still want to beat Di Baiming up? It was still uncertain who would beat who up. While Secret Agent Huahua was cursing in her heart, Xue Wuji turned around and flew back. Young master, where are you going? Humph. Little sister Jiu must be very sad right now. Since Di Baiming's stone face is gone, I will go and comfort little sister Jiu. She will surely be very touched. Humph. How can that blockhead Di Baiming be as good as me in picking up girls? Xue Wuji said proudly. Young master, are you tempted? Secret Agent Huahua braced herself and asked. Tempted? Why would I be tempted? This young master just couldn't stand Di Baiming treating little sister Jiu like this. The thing this young master was most willing to do was to make Di Baiming unhappy. Huahua, is it because this young master won't punish you recently that you think this young master is too easy to talk to? Do I need you to ask about my matters, said Xue Wuji unhappily with a gloomy face. Young master, I have crossed the line. Please punish me. If they were not in the air, Secret Agent Huahua would have knelt and apologized. Humph. I'll overlook it this time. It won't happen again. Xue Wuji was in a hurry to comfort Yun Chuzhou. After saying this, he quickly flew toward Mount Wuwei. Secret Agent Huahua wiped the cold sweat on her head and sighed in her heart. Young master is just being stubborn. Di Baiming and Yun Chuzhou are in love with each other. If you interfere, Di Baiming will definitely attack our Blood Devil sect. You are just looking for trouble. On the other side, Di Baiming's face was ashen. He flew hundreds of li away in one breath and landed in a desolate area. With a casual palm, he smashed a huge mountain rock into powder. Bai Li and Yun Chuzhou were already dead. Di Baiming felt that if he did not vent the anger in his heart, it was as if his entire body would explode. When he saw He Shi and Xue Wuji chatting and laughing, he wished he could slap Xue Wuji to death. Damn Xue Wuji. If it was not for him, He Shi would not be angry with his original body. After Di Baiming smashed the surrounding mountain rocks into pieces, he thought to himself, no. He had to go back. Although Xue Wuji had also left, there was no guarantee that he would secretly go back. He had to hurry back as soon as possible. When Di Baiming thought of this, he rode his sword and flew back to the Wuwei Tower's camp. From afar, he saw Xue Wuji coming towards him. Xue Wuji also saw Di Baiming and could not help but curse in his heart. This expressionless man had actually returned. He must have the same idea as this young master. He definitely could not let him succeed. This young master wanted to rush in front of little sister Jiu to gain a good impression of her. Xue Wuji thought of this and sped up. Seeing this, Di Baiming also sped up. The two of them flew like two meteors towards the Linghua faction camp. However, when the two of them saw the scene in front of them, they were dumbfounded. Chapter 499. It was a good time for those two idiots to leave. The two of them could only see the Linghua faction camp filled with laughter. Yun Chuzhou was beaming with joy as she played cards with Feng Ming and the others. Although it was already late, Yun Chuzhou took out the illuminating pearl that she had dug out from Xue Wuji's place. The entire camp was as bright as day. Yun Chuzhia's small face was smiling like a flower. She was not heartbroken at all as the two of them were worried. She was simply overjoyed. Just now, after Di Baiming and Xue Wuji left, the atmosphere in the camp had also stagnated. Master Xianyuan and the others were worried that something might have happened to Yun Chuzhou. Just as they were about to go in and persuade her, they saw her jumping out with a smile. The two idiots have left. Let's continue to roast meat. We don't want them to ruin our atmosphere here. Everyone. Junior sister Xiaojiu, weren't you really angry just now? You looked too scary just now. Feng Ming came over and asked. Humph. I'm not stupid. Anger hurts my body. I won't punish myself for other people's mistakes. It's good that the two idiots have left. That way, we can have more fun. Hurry up and eat, then we can play faster. Yun Chuzhou was indeed a little angry, however, it was not as serious as it seemed. Seeing that Di Baiming and Xue Wuji were not going to stop, she simply took the opportunity to scold the two of them. Seeing Di Baiming and Xue Wuji return, this guy acted as if nothing had happened. She greeted the two of them with a smile. Prince Charming, Brother Wuji, are you guys done with your sparring? It seems that the exchange between the two of you is very civilized. There is no injury at all. Di Baiming snorted coldly, but Xue Wuji said with a smile, little sister Jiu, big brother made a mistake just now. What are you guys playing? Count big brother in. Yun Chuzhou nodded, it's good that you know your mistakes and can change. Prince Charming, what do you say? Di Baiming's face was livid. He wished he could just leave. However, if he left, wouldn't he be giving Xue Wuji a chance? He said coldly, it won't happen again. Senior brother Feng Ming, I'm not playing anymore. Find someone else to replace me. Prince Charming, Brother Wuji, come, let's play fight the landlord. Yun Chuzhou said with a smile. Xue Wuji hurriedly said, all right. Today, I will make you both lose until you cry. Seeing that Di Baiming did not move, Yun Chuzhou stood up and grabbed Di Baiming's arm. Prince Charming, Brother Wuji said that he will beat us until we cry. Are you afraid of him? Di Baiming snorted and sat down. The three of them began to fight. Master Xianyuan saw that the three of them had finally stopped and could not help but let out a long sigh. He felt that his old heart had withstood the harsh test in the past few days. Young people really knew how to play. One moment they were showing off their love, and the next moment they were shouting and fighting. It was too exciting. Of course, Xue Wuji had lost miserably once again. Seeing Xue Wuji's hopeless look, Di Baiming felt that his mood was much better. In the end, Xue Wuji rode his sword and flew away while howling. Hee, Brother Wuji's card skills are as stinky as ever. Prince Charming, I performed well just now, right? I didn't care about you even if I had a big card. I deliberately let you win. Don't be angry with me, okay? Yun Chuzhou pulled Di Baiming's arm and shook it. Di Baiming saw her cute appearance and his heart itched. He said to Master Xianyuan, little Jiu, and I have some matters to attend to. We will return on the day of the competition. After Di Baiming finished speaking, he did not wait for Master Xianyuan to react before he flew away with Yun Chuzhou on his sword. Chapter 500, I'll save it for you. Master Xianyuan was stunned. Fortunately, young Master Di and little Jiu had already left. Otherwise, how would he, this old man, answer? It's the middle of the night, a man and a woman alone. What are you going to do? Isn't it obvious? However, young Master Di had already lived with little Jiu for a long time. He estimated that, probably, 80% wouldn't really happen, right? Prince Charming, where are you taking me? Yun Chuzhou asked curiously. Naturally, I'm going to find a place to sleep. Let's go to Wuwei City. Di Baiming said as he sped up his sword-riding speed. The two of them found a large inn. Originally, there were no rooms in this inn. After Di Baiming said that he would pay double the spirit stones, the shopkeeper eagerly vacated a room. The first thing Yun Chuzhou did when she entered the room was to open the isolation array. Then, she began to show off her treasures. Prince Charming, let me tell you. Actually, in the Wuwei Tower, Yun Chuzhou was about to say that she had gotten a lot of supreme-grade spirit stones in the Wuwei Tower, but she swallowed her words. Was she stupid? If she told the truth, the gigolo would definitely want all the supreme-grade spirit stones, so she was determined to keep quiet. What happened to you in the Wuwei Tower? Di Baiming asked curiously. I got a map and a jade token in the Wuwei Tower. I haven't had the chance to look at it yet. My prince, let's take a look together. Yun Chuzhou took out the sheepskin scroll and the jade token from her storage ring. I've never seen the material of this jade token before. It seems to be used as a key. Maybe it has something to do with this map. Di Baiming took the jade token and said after flipping through it. Prince Charming, this map is a mess. Why can't I understand it? Where is this? Yun Chuzhou frowned and pointed at the map on the table. Di Baiming saw that this was a map made from the skin of the poison-horned antelope. The poison-horned antelope was an ancient demon beast that was basically extinct now. The map made from its skin could be preserved for tens of thousands of years. There were several messy curves drawn on the poison-horned antelope's skin. Other than the fact that it was basically a mountain peak near the sea, nothing else could be seen. Humph. I knew that stingy old Qi Ling didn't have any good intentions. He gave me such a useless piece of junk. Fortunately, I cleverly extorted 100 supreme-grade spirit stones from it. Otherwise, I would have suffered a great loss. Yun Chuzhou wanted to strangle herself the moment she finished speaking. Damn it! It slipped out. The fellow quickly tried to make up for it. I made a mistake with my stupid mouth. It was 20 supreme-grade spirit stones. I originally wanted 100, but it didn't agree. Di Baiming's eyes flashed, he said nonchalantly, it doesn't matter if it's 100 or 20. It was you who extorted it anyway. I'm not interested. However, I think that the Wuwei Tower's Qi Ling must have existed for tens of thousands of years and must be very difficult to deal with. It's already pretty good that you could get 20 spirit stones. It's impossible for you to get 100 spirit stones. Yun Chuzhou straightened her back when she heard what Di Baiming said. Humph. No matter how smart he is, how can he be as smart as me? Not only did I get 100 supreme-grade spirit stones from it, I even got 100 spirit stones from the formation discs. Di Baiming nodded and stretched out his hand. Supreme-grade spirit stones are too rare. It's not safe to keep them with you. I'll keep them for you. When the second round of the competition comes, I'll find a chance to tell you so that you won't be targeted. Chapter 501, I Want to See the Stars. Yun Chuzhou was dumbfounded. She was usually such a shrewd person, how could she be so unguarded in front of this gigolo? How could she let him get the truth out of her just like that? Damn it! Why did he say that he would keep it for her? What a lie! If it was just to confuse others, he could have just said it. I have to give it to you for safekeeping. Don't even think about it. It was not easy for me to become a rich person. I can't let the gigolo take away my precious spirit stones. Prince Charming, I'm so sleepy. I'm going to sleep first. Do whatever you want. Yun Chuzhou took off her coat and climbed to the side of the bed. She closed her eyes and pretended to be asleep. Di Baiming raised his eyebrows. Black thing, I have a pair of moonlight begonia boots that are protected from lightning. Do you want them? Yun Chuzhou's eyelashes trembled. The gigolo must be lying to her. She could not fall for it. Don't tell me you really don't want it. After every lightning strike, you have to waste a pair of boots. These moonlight begonia boots won't have that problem. Most importantly, the boots can not only resist lightning strikes, but it can also increase the wearer's speed. If you encounter danger in a place where flying is prohibited, these moonlight begonia boots are simply the best weapon to escape and save your life with. Yun Chujia's eyelashes trembled even more. Sob sob. I really want it. However, if she wanted those boots, the gigolo would take away the supreme-grade spirit stones that she had obtained with great difficulty. She really could not bear to part with them. When Di Baiming saw this, the corners of his mouth curled up as he continued, Black Thing, do you think you can spend the supreme-grade spirit stones you have? Once you take them out to exchange for them, you will be targeted by others. At that time, you'll be in trouble. Do you think it's better to keep them in your storage ring and let them rot, or do you think it's better to exchange them for this pair of moonlight begonia boots that I'm offering you? Yun Chujio gritted her teeth, opened her eyes and said, Didn't you say that you gave them to me? Why is it an exchange? It's not impossible to give it to you. That depends on whether I'm happy or not. Di Baiming saw that Yun Chujio no longer pretended to be asleep, and he was very proud of himself. Humph. I can leave the spirit stones with you, but you have to write a formal letter for me. Otherwise, what happens if you start acting like a scoundrel again when I use it? Yun Chujio pouted and said. Di Baiming walked to the table, took out a brush, ink, paper, and inkstone, and wrote a letter for Yun Chujio. Yun Chujio then pouted and handed the 200 supreme-grade spirit stones to Di Baiming. Di Baiming took out a pair of exquisite little boots from his storage ring and handed it to Yun Chujio. She jumped off the bed and tried it on. Sure enough, after wearing it, she felt lighter and her aching heart was slightly comforted. Humph. Fortunately, she still kept a dozen or so pieces, or else she would really be finished. She had started playing tricks when she was in a bad mood. Prince Charming, I want to go out and look at the stars. Carry me out to look at the stars. Di Baiming glared at her. Didn't you just come back from the outside? You've been looking at the stars the whole night. Why do you still want to look at the stars? I don't care. I want to look at the stars anyway. If you don't carry me out, I'll cry. After saying that, the guy sat on the bed and started wailing. Black Thing, stop wailing. Go to sleep. Di Baiming felt a headache. He knew that Yun Chujio was acting like a demon because he confiscated her spirit stones. Fortunately, the isolation array was activated in the room so no one could hear her. I don't want to. I want to see the stars. Wah. Wah. I want to see the stars. Yun Chujio did not have a single tear at the corner of her eye. She was acting like a demon. Di Baiming could not take it anymore. He directly pressed Yun Chujio onto the bed and kissed her. Chapter 502, that Sundra's illness can be cured. The two of them lingered for quite a while. Yun Chujia's little face flushed red as she glared at Di Baiming. Then, she feigned fierceness and said, I'm sleepy. Quickly sing a lullaby for me. Di Baiming was satisfied and in a good mood. He hummed softly and thought to himself, I'm really smart. This is a good way to shut the Black Thing up. I must use it frequently in the future. The next day, Yun Chujio dragged Di Baiming out for a stroll. I didn't have enough fun yesterday. Today, I'm going to have a good stroll. Tomorrow is the second round of the competition. If I don't take a stroll today, I won't have time anymore when we have to return to Spirit Radiance Sect tomorrow. The two of them had just left the inn when they saw Xue Wuji standing in front of them, pretending to be surprised. What a coincidence. Little sister Jiu, I didn't expect that we would have a telepathic connection to come to Wuwei City for a holiday. Di Baiming looked at Xue Wuji's smug face and wished he could slap him to death. He said coldly, Xue Wuji, I thought you lost so miserably yesterday that you went to commit suicide. I didn't expect you to still be alive. Xue Wuji brushed his hair and said, Humph. Little sister Jiu told me before that spirit stones aren't to be brought out. If you lose, so be it. I don't care about it at all. Behind him, Shadow Agent Huahua pursed his lips. Young master, don't you feel guilty for saying that? Who was the one who wailed for the entire night yesterday? Di Biming snorted coldly and pulled Yun Chujia's hand. Black thing, I will take you for a stroll over there. Shui Wuji, don't follow us. Otherwise, I will not be polite to you. Shui Wuji looked up at the sky and ignored Di Biming. However, he followed the two of them closely. Shui Wuji, didn't you hear what I said? Scram. This road doesn't belong to you. I'm going my way, and you're going yours. What right do you have to make me leave? Shui Wuji was fearless. He thought to himself, I'm not the one who's looking for trouble. If Di Biming takes the initiative to beat me up, little sister Jiu will definitely be angry with him. That would be the best. Di Biming was so angry that he gritted his teeth. However, when he thought of what Yun Chujio said yesterday, he endured it and ignored Shui Wuji. When Shui Wuji saw that Di Biming was ignoring him, he walked to Yun Chujia's side and said, Little sister Jiu, yesterday we went to the snack shop, food stores, and the book shop. Where do you want to go today? Yun Chujio saw that Di Biming was staring at her with his dull eyes. She could not help but want to slap this idiot Shui Wuji to death. He was really asking for it. Black thing, hand it over. Yun Chujio frowned and handed a book to Di Biming with a pained expression. Fortunately, she had finished reading it last night. Otherwise, her heart would really ache. It was all because of that black chicken's head. He was so stupid. When Di Biming saw the cover of All the Beautiful Husbands, he inexplicably remembered that Yun Chujio had once praised Shui Wuji's good looks with a voice transmission talisman. The anger in his heart could no longer be suppressed. Black thing. You didn't take what I said to heart at all. What exactly are you thinking in your heart? You spend all your time reading such nonsense books. Do you want me and Shui Wuji to both marry you? You've really let me down. Yun Chujio was about to explain that these books were just for entertainment. She did not have any other thoughts, but Di Biming was so angry that he actually rode his sword and flew away. Yun Chujio was stunned for a moment before she also became angry. Damn it! The gigolo was really sick. He did not give her a chance to explain at all and just ran away. Being arrogant was a sickness that needed to be treated. Damn it, if he was willing to leave, then he should leave. Chapter 503, The Gigolo was too overbearing. Little sister Jiu, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I let it slip. Shui Wuji looked guilty. Yun Chujio said angrily, It's not your fault. That Sundara needs to be taught a lesson. I'm only reading those books to pass the time, but he's already making judgments. His heart is only as big as the eye of a needle. Di Biming is famous for being fussy in the Tianyuan continent. Little sister Jiu, don't be angry. It's even better that he left. Big brother will take you around. Shui Wuji was overjoyed at that moment. Huh, I'm really smart. Little sister Jiu definitely would not have thought that I let it slip on purpose. Di Biming was so angry and just ran away. This is my chance. Shui Wuji attentively accompanied Yun Chujio for a whole day. Yun Chujio converted her grief and anger into purchasing power and shopped. Buy. 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 Not only did Shui Wuji snatch the spirit stones, but he also bought all the things that Yun Chujio felt she could buy but did not. Shadow Agent Huahua had a look of despair. It was over. Their young master had definitely fallen into this trap. Young master, there are thousands of women in this world. Why did you have to like the same woman as Di Biming? You're definitely looking for trouble. It was only when the sun was setting that the two of them returned to Spirit Radiance Sect's camp. Shui Wuji lingered for a while and promised to return the next day to support the sect. Only then did he get on his sword and leave. Sect Master Xianyuan was very puzzled. Didn't little Jiu leave with young Master Di yesterday? Why was she sent back by this Yun Chuling today? Things between young people were really hard to understand. There was a small stream beside Spirit Radiance Sect's camp. Yun Chujio was in a bad mood, so she sat by the stream and picked up the pebbles by the side and threw them into the stream. Although she did not show it on the surface, she felt a little sad and a little wronged. The gigolo was really too overbearing. Although those books were a little vulgar, she just wanted to enjoy them. Was there a need for him to be so angry? He even said that she wanted him and Xue Wuji to both marry her. He was really too detestable. He left her when he was angry. If they got married in the future, he would definitely run away from home when he was angry. When that time came, she would hug her baby and silently cry. Just thinking about it was upsetting, right? Humph. This time, she would definitely not lower her head first. She had to control this bad habit of his. Wow, someone actually went out with a man for a night yesterday, and was sent back by another man. She isn't old, but she really has some tricks to seduce men. Ah, she's the first person to pass the Wuwei Tower trial. She's even more powerful than our junior sister Su, so she's naturally not simple. Humph. She just got lucky. Junior sister Su is the real genius. She is just a good-for-nothing in the 4th level of spirit enhancement, so what if she passed the 9th level? Although she's a good-for-nothing, she knows how to seduce men. I think besides those 2 men, there are 3 male disciples in Spirit Radiance sect who are interested in her. It is said that she's one of the 3 heroes of Spirit Radiance sect. That's right. I wonder if those 2 young masters have bad eyesight, they actually took a fancy to this trash. Yun Chujia's eyes darkened. Damn. They were really unlucky. It was just the right time to vent her anger on them. Yun Chujio turned around and saw 2 women standing behind her, both wearing Heavenly Gate's sect's inner disciple attire. When the 2 saw Yun Chujio turning around to look at them, one of the round-faced women said arrogantly, "What are you looking at? Since you've done such a shameless thing, don't be afraid of others talking about it." Chapter 504, Draw a little bastard on your face. If you 2 don't want to get beaten up, then get lost. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Yun Chujio felt that it was better to give a verbal warning first. When the time came, she would take the most sensible action. Ha. This is so funny. One of us is at the 9th level of the Spirit Enhancement realm, and the other is at the 1st level of the Spirit Cultivator realm. She, a useless person at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement realm, said that she wants to beat us up. Is she crazy? The round-faced woman laughed so hard that she staggered back and forth, and the other long-faced woman was also laughing so hard that she was trembling. Yun Chujio smiled and took out the isolation array from her storage ring. After she activated it, she said with a smile, "Both of you are seriously ill. In that case, I will enlighten you." Before Yun Chujio finished her sentence, she had already arrived behind the round-faced woman. She raised her right foot and kicked the back of the woman's waist. The round-faced woman did not even have the time to react and was already kicked into the stream. Coincidentally, her head bumped into a rock, causing her head to bleed and faint immediately. When the long-faced woman saw this, she attacked Yun Chujio. "Stinky girl! How dare you ambush me? I will kill you." Yun Chujio easily dodged her attack and sneered. "You want to kill me? Come on, I want to see you try." The long-faced woman saw that Yun Chujio's movement was extremely fast and a trace of viciousness flashed in her eyes. She gathered her spiritual power in her right palm and after forming a seal, 6 wind blades charged toward Yun Chujio. "Stinky girl! I will kill you today. Our sect leader hates you to death. Even if I kill you, our sect leader will still keep my life. Perhaps he will even accept me as a successor disciple. When the long-faced woman saw that Yun Chujio did not dodge, she was very pleased with herself. This Yun Chujio is most likely scared silly. This time, she's definitely going to die. When the time comes, they'll bring the corpse back to receive a reward. Who would have thought that Yun Chujio would suddenly leap more than 3 meters high on the spot? After dodging the wind blades, she directly kicked the woman. The long-faced woman was still secretly pleased with herself. After being kicked by Yun Chujio, she also landed in the stream. The round-faced woman had already woken up and was about to get up, but she did not expect to be knocked unconscious by the long-faced woman again. Yun Chujio walked to the side of the long-faced woman and pressed her acupoints. She gave her a good beating and then stepped on her chest. She took out a large kitchen knife and placed it on her neck. Hand over all the spirit stones in your storage bag, or I'll draw a little bastard on your face. The long-faced woman gritted her teeth and said, "Damn girl. How dare you treat us like this? Our sect will not forgive you." Yun Chujio smiled at her and then took the large kitchen knife and cut her face. The woman cried out in pain. Seeing that Yun Chujio was going to continue cutting, the woman was so scared that she quickly transferred all the spirit stones in her storage bag to Yun Chujio. "That's all. It seems that you really want to have a little bastard on your face." Yun Chujio took the kitchen knife and cut her again. The woman screamed, "There's really nothing left. Senior Sisterly has some. Wake her up. She's richer than me." Yun Chujio could not help but sneer in her heart. The saying, "a friend dies, but not you," was very much true. 1. Yun Chujio kicked the round-faced woman. When the round-faced woman woke up and was about to attack, Yun Chujio stepped forward and pressed her acupoints. After beating her up, she said, "Your junior sister said that you're very rich. Hand over your spirit stones. Or else I'll draw a little bastard on your face too." Chapter 505, Who was going to kill who? The round-faced woman glared at the long-faced woman, and then saw the 2 bloody marks on her face. She reluctantly gave Yun Chujio some spirit stones. "That's it? It seems that you really want to be sisters with your junior sister. Then I'll grant you your wish." Yun Chujio was about to make a move with her big kitchen knife. The round-faced woman was so frightened that she quickly transferred all the spirit stones in her storage bag to Yun Chujio and begged repeatedly, "Miss Yun, I have eyes but I didn't recognize greatness in front of me. I've already given you all the spirit stones, so please let me go." Yun Chujio blinked her eyes and said, "How about this? I'm in a good mood today. One of you can go back alive. If either of you can take out any more valuable things, they'll let you go." The long-faced woman quickly said, "Miss Yun, I have 3 stalks of low-grade, black category jobs tiers." The round-faced woman saw the situation and hated the long-faced woman even more. She said loudly, "I have 5 stalks of mid-grade, black category sky blue sunflower. I also have 2 tier 5 demonic beasts inner cores. Miss Yun, her inner cores aren't valuable. I have 3 tier 6 demonic beasts inner cores." Yun Chujio sneered as she watched the 2 of them compete to take out valuable items. Naturally, she accepted them one by one with a smile. Later, seeing that the items taken out by the 2 of them were becoming less and less valuable, she tapped their mute acupoints and then withdrew the isolation array. She shouted at the top of her voice, "Help! Help! The people of the Heavenly Gate sect want to kill me. Quick, someone come. Help!" When the people from Spirit Radiance sect heard Yun Chujio's shout, Master Xianyuan and the others immediately rushed over. They were almost scared out of their wits. Master Xianyuan rushed to the scene of the incident with a few leaps and was dumbfounded. Who exactly wanted to kill who? There were 2 female disciples of the Heavenly Gate sect lying in the stream. One of them had blood on her forehead and the other had 2 cuts on her face. From the looks of it, it was obvious that they had been badly beaten up. Little Joe, are you sure that they want to kill you and not vice versa? Besides, even if you want to frame them, you have to make the scene more realistic. In this situation, no matter who comes, they will think that you want to kill them. Just as Master Xianyuan was in a daze, the people of the Heavenly Gates sect arrived. The Heavenly Gates sect's camp was close to Spirit Radiance sect's camp, so Du Gai and the others also heard Yun Chujius shout. Du Gai was stunned. He had not instructed his disciples to kill Yun Chujio. What was going on? Thus, Du Gai also brought some people from the Heavenly Gates sect and rushed over. Du Gai saw the scene in front of him and immediately, he was furious. Yun Chujio. So you're a thief shouting robbery. You're clearly the one who beat up our Heavenly Gates sect's disciples, but you actually twisted it. Master Xianyuan, you have to give me an explanation for this matter. Otherwise, our Heavenly Gates sect will never let this go. Master Xianyuan coughed dryly. Little Joe, what exactly is going on? Yun Chujio frowned, her face was filled with indignation. It went like this. I sat by the stream to enjoy the scenery, and then these two senior sisters scolded me. They said that it was because of me that the Heavenly Gates sect went from number 1 to number 4. If they kill me, Master Dugu will definitely reward them, so they took action. Du Gai sneered. Yun Chujio, do you think that everyone here is blind? You're unharmed, and the two of them are covered in wounds. Who wants to kill who? Yun Chujio said unhurriedly, of course they want to kill me. It's a pity that they aren't skilled. Moreover, I have the defensive spirit tool that you gave me. So not only did they not kill me, but they were beaten up by me instead. I was quite useless to begin with. I didn't expect that the two of them were even more useless. They couldn't even defeat me. I heard from sect leader Du that you're quite regretful that they weren't able to kill me, right? Could it be that you sent them to kill me? Chapter 506, suffered a critical hit of 100,000 points. Nonsense. Why would I send these two good-for-nothings to kill you? Du Gai shouted angrily. Ah, do you mean to send someone powerful to kill me? Heavens! How innocent the first am. Fairy Yume, Daoist Chini, you two came at the right time. The people of the Heavenly Gates sect want to kill me. Sob sob. I'm scared to death. Yun Chujio ran to Fairy Yumei's side, face full of grief. Fairy Yume and Daoist Chini also heard Yun Chujio's heart-wrenching cries, so they hurried over. However, their camp was a little far away, so they were a step late. The two of them also looked at the two female disciples of the Heavenly Gates sect who were still lying in the stream, and then looked at the lively Yun Chujio. Did they hear wrongly? It was not the Heavenly Gates sect who wanted to kill Yun Chujio, but Yun Chujio who wanted to kill the people of the Heavenly Gates sect, right? Sob sob. Do you see that they're in a worse state than me, so you thought that I wanted to kill them? Heaven and earth have a conscience. They didn't learn well, and I have the defensive spiritual tool that you two gave me, so I survived. Moreover, I know that their spiritual power is higher than mine, and there are two of them. Would I take the initiative to provoke them? Maybe if I was a fool. Why aren't they saying anything to defend themselves? Because they're guilty. Does the good person have to be killed to determine that the person alive is a murderer and villain? You two are reasonable people, so you definitely wouldn't think so. You two must help me make a decision. My young mind suffered a critical hit of 100,000 points. Oh, right. Sect leader Du just said that he regretted sending these two good-for-nothings to kill me. It would have been better if he had sent two powerful ones to kill me. Listen, as the sect leader of a sect, he actually sought revenge for the smallest grievance. Just because their Heavenly Gates sect got 4th place, he wants to kill me. This is too vicious. Sob sob. My little life has been seriously threatened. Who knows? He might even hate you too. In any case, he hates those who are stronger than his Heavenly Gates sect. He felt that other than their Heavenly Gates sect, no other sect should be ranked first. If you think about it carefully, if the second round of the competition is held tomorrow, and if the Bixiao Palace and Immortal Sword sect had a disciple who was ranked first, he would also have to send someone to kill them. After Yun Chuzhou said that long sentence, she did not stop in the middle. Du Gai was so angry that his face and neck was red. He wanted to interrupt a few times, but he was drowned out by Yun Chujia's clear voice. Fairy Yumei and Daoist Jinni were both stunned. How could this little girl have such a large mouth? She was really too talkative. However, the two of them believed her by about 80%. What the little girl said made sense. She had no motive to kill the two disciples of the Heavenly Gate sect. On the other hand, it was Du Gai, the old man, who suffered a loss in the Wuwei Tower trials. It was inevitable that he would feel indignant, so the disciples of the sect had to kill him. Du Gai was narrow-minded and was really capable of doing such a thing. Fortunately, this little girl had a defensive spirit tool on her. Moreover, she had a lot of shrewdness, which was why she had escaped death. Du Gai saw that Fairy Yumei and Daoist Jinni were deep in thought. He shouted angrily, "Yun Chuzhou is spouting nonsense. I didn't send them to kill Yun Chuzhou at all. Even if they really wanted to kill Yun Chuzhou, it was their own decision that had nothing to do with me." When the two women in the stream heard Du Gai's words, they were scared out of their wits. If the sect leader gave up on us, then Spirit Radiance sect will not forgive us. Previously, the two of them wanted to defend themselves, but they could not make a sound. In their desperation, the round-faced woman realized that she could make a sound and quickly shouted, "I didn't want to kill Miss Yun. I only scolded her a few times. It was junior sister Chi who wanted to kill Miss Yun." Chapter 507, My Little Heart. When the long-faced woman heard that the round-faced woman had pushed all the blame onto her, she glared at the round-faced woman angrily, then, she cried out, it was clearly senior sister Li who scolded Yun Chuzhou for seducing a man first. She was so shameless. Furthermore, she was the one who made the first move to kill Miss Yun. She was kicked into the stream by Miss Yun. I only made the first move to save her. Nonsense. You were the one who scolded Miss Yun first. Furthermore, you used a wind blade to kill her. However, you didn't manage to kill her and were kicked into the water by Miss Yun instead. Du Gai almost spat out a mouthful of blood. There was no need to ask anymore. These two idiots had sold each other out. When Yun Chuzhou heard the two women say that, she immediately howled, "Oh my God! My injustice has finally been cleared. Not only did I almost lose my life at such a young age, but I was also backstabbed and slandered as a murderer. My little heart feels too uncomfortable. If there isn't anything to comfort me, my heart will be broken and I will die." The corners of everyone's eyes twitched. This fellow was trying to make Heavenly Gate sect compensate her. Du Gai felt that if he did not find an opportunity to kill Yun Chuzhou, sooner or later, he would be angered to the point of vomiting blood and die. Du Gai squeezed out a smile and said, "Little girl, this is all a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. When I return to the sect, I will definitely punish these two disciples severely. As for the injuries you suffered, I will give you a middle-grade spirit tool, okay?" Yun Chuzhou howled even louder, "Wow, wow. My little life is so worthless. My little heart, my little arms, and my calves are so scared that they're not listening to me anymore." Du Gai took a deep breath and tried to persuade himself in his heart. Only then did he manage to hold back the thought of strangling Yun Chuzhou. He gritted his teeth and said, 2 middle-grade spirit tools should be enough, right?" Yun Chuzhou's sobs suddenly stopped. She giggled and stretched out her small claws. "All right then. Since you're so generous, I won't pursue the matter." Du Gai threw 2 middle-grade spirit tools to Yun Chuzhou. He ignored the two female disciples who were soaking in the stream. He cupped his hands toward Fairy Yumei and Daoist Chini and left angrily. Fortunately, there were a few female disciples from the Heavenly Gates sect who helped the two women out of the stream. At this time, their acupuncture points were automatically opened. Although the two hated Yunchujio, they hated each other even more and kept scolding each other. If it were not for someone pulling them, they would probably have started fighting. Fairy Yumei looked at Yunchujio with a smile. "Little girl, your little mouth really knows how to talk. There so. It's mainly because I'm in the right. Besides, it's also because you and Daoist Chini were backing me up. Who doesn't know that you two are the most fair and won't leave me to die? If it weren't for the two of you, Sect Master Du might have killed me to silence me." Yunchujio smiled and put on a high hat for the two of them. Fairy Yumei smiled. Although this little girl was a little greedy, she was still very likable. Fairy Yumei, Daoist Chini, and Master Xianyuan exchanged a few more pleasantries before they bade farewell and left. Qi Pianpian and Wu Yenyu shrunk their necks. After seeing the miserable state of the two female disciples of Heavenly Gate sect, they finally knew how terrifying Yunchujio was. It was better for them to not provoke her in the future. After Yunchujio was done beating people up and making a small fortune, her mood improved. She followed everyone to the camp. When she arrived at the camp, she saw Di Biming with a livid face staring at her with soulless eyes. Chapter 508, The Shameless Scum Who Murdered His Own Wife. Master Xianyuan and the others felt that the cold air around Di Biming could freeze them. They gave Yunchujio a look of self-seeking and all of them ran away. Di Biming originally thought that Yunchujio would run over to apologize when she saw him. He did not expect Yunchujio to straighten her little body and walk past Di Biming with her head held high as if she did not know Di Biming at all. Di Biming gritted his teeth, "Black thing, stop right there." Yunchujio acted as if she did not hear him and continued hopping forward. "Black thing. I said stop right there." Yunchujio still ignored Di Biming and jumped even more happily. Di Biming felt that he was about to explode. With a wave of his sleeve, Yunchujio realized that she could not move anymore. However, this girl still ignored Di Biming and kept her silence to the end. "Black thing, didn't you hear me calling you?" Di Biming was even more furious when he saw Yunchujio's fearless look. "I'm not Black thing. My name is Yunchujio, and some people call me Little Jio. What the hell is Black thing? I'm not black anyway. Who knows who you're calling?" Yunchujio snorted coldly. "Little fellow, since you're willing to come back, you must be regretting it. If you still want to act pretentious, dream on. Today, it'll serve you your arrogant and stinky habit. Black thing, you've grown wings, haven't you? Do you think I can't do anything to you?" Di Biming's eyes were filled with fire as he stared fiercely at Yunchujio. "You're so powerful, of course you have a way. Aren't you just going to kill me? Then just kill me. Anyway, I don't think there's any meaning in living. I was just reading salacious books to kill time. What's so evil about that? How is it that I've offended you?" Yunchujio was going all out. Anyway, the gigolo would not beat her up, so why should she be afraid of him? From now on, she would be the master. You're twisting the truth. There are so many kinds of books, why do you only look at the vulgar ones? Di Biming wanted to strangle her to death. Vulgar? How is it vulgar? I didn't look at the erotic pictures, how am I vulgar? Yunchujio said confidently. You actually want to look at that kind of thing? Black thing, I must teach you a good lesson today. Di Biming held Yunchujio by her waist and slapped her but hard. Yunchujio immediately howled like a pig being slaughtered, "Gigolo. You actually dare to hit my little butt? My little butt is going to be smashed." Sob sob. Gigolo, you shameless scum who murdered his wife. I'm not done with you. Sob sob, I just read some books. I didn't go to a brothel and get a gigolo. What right do you have to hit me? Di Baiming was a little regretful after beating her up, but when he heard Yun Chujio say that, he was so angry that he slapped her again. Ah! It hurts so much. Sob sob. Gigolo, I won't talk to you anymore. You fussy bastard. You actually hit me. Help. Help. Is there anyone in Spirit Radiance sect who is still breathing? I'm going to be beaten to death by this gigolo. Someone come and save me. Don't you people want to save me? Wah. Wah. Why did I join such a heartless sect? If I'm beaten to death by this gigolo, I won't forgive you even if I become a ghost. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.